everyone. Yes, this weirdo is back. So basically I've already prepped and primed my skin. Now I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and I'm gonna put that on my eyelids so that I have a smooth, even surface before I put on my eyeshadow. And I'm buffing that in with my Morphe R32 brush. This brush is perfect for anything like concealer or something thick because it's a dense brush and I just love the way it blends everything out so perfectly. So as you can see, I'm already wearing a lipstick and it's not to look pretty. I'm only wearing it because it's the Buxom lip liner, and if you know Buxom, they have like a plumper in like almost all their lipsticks, so it kind of plumps my lips and gets them ready for lipstick application. And I'm laughing at myself because I thought I looked crazy with super white eyelids, pink lips, and full eyebrows done. Kind of ridiculous. Totally ridiculous, actually. So for this entire look, I'm going to be using the Morphe 35W palette. I believe that's the only one I'm using. But anyways, I'm just blending 2 of those shades in to make it look like my skin tone for a very smooth surface before eyeshadow application. And I'm using my Morphe M517 brush to apply that, and I love this brush. It blends so perfectly and so seamlessly. You can't see any lines after using this brush. I love it. And make sure you bring it out kind of far just in case you're gonna do your eyeshadow kind of winged out. I'm gonna do a wing liner today, so I'm bringing mine out kind of far. Now I'm going in with a soft brown for my transition shade, and I'm just sort of windshield wiping that back and forth and bringing it outwards because, like I said, I'm going to do a wing liner, so I'm bringing it out just a little bit more so that it will meet up with my eyeliner. And tap off the excess if you get too much on your brush, no big deal. Now I'm going in with a darker brown. Sorry, my camera wouldn't focus right there. But yeah, I'm going in with a darker brown and I'm focusing that right in my crease to kind of deepen that up. Make sure you blend it really well because you just put that transition shade on and you don't, the last thing you want is lines. You do not want lines. So just keep blending and blending until your arm is ready to fall off. And do not forget to wing it out because remember we are doing a wing liner later and we don't want the line to stop before the wing liner because that will look a little ridiculous. So make sure you're winging it out just as much as you would with your wing liner. You can skip this part, you can do this part, it really does not make a difference, but all I'm doing is I'm connecting my outer crease with my outer eyelid, and really that's about it. Doesn't matter much only because you're going to be putting your wing liner on top, but if you skip the wing liner, you definitely want to do this part. And did you really think I was done building off of that eyeshadow? No, we're gonna go in with more of that dark brown and we're gonna build that eyeshadow up even more to make it look 10 times more blended. Okay, so this is another extra step I take that you do not have to do. What I'm applying to my eyelid is a glitter primer from NYX Cosmetics, and what this does for me, okay, I'm not saying everyone has to do this, but what this does for me is it makes my eyeshadow more pigmented. If I want my eyeshadow to be poppin' all day long, this is what I do. I put this on top of my eyelids so that the pigment just stands out even more. I use this trick on clients all the time. because one of the most asked questions I get is this gonna last all day? And I'm like, hell yeah, it's gonna last all day. I'm putting a primer, a glitter primer, not just an eyeshadow primer. That's not gonna work the same. A glitter primer is gonna be much stronger and it's gonna bring the pigment out in the eyeshadow. And basically the eyeshadow I took was from Blink and BoxyCharm, the Electric Eyes palette. And I love this. I really liked it. I got it in my BoxyCharm and I was very, very surprised with it. So now I'm taking my NYX liquid liner in Vinyl Black, and I should have used a matte black, but I couldn't find it, and it sucked because I was almost out of this vinyl liquid liner, so I'm like really shaking the hell out of it to try to get as much as I can out of it. So I did a pretty good job with what I was working with. If you are new to liner, doing a wing liner, I highly suggest a gel liner over liquid liner because there is more room for error, and with this there really isn't. So either have a really, really good concealer that can kind of clean up those lines, or just use a gel liner. So right here I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. Holy crap, that's a mouthful. But this foundation is really very good coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I'd say it's low to medium in my eyes, low to medium coverage. But for being a drugstore foundation, this is very good coverage. So if you're in the market for a good foundation that has to be drugstore, this would be it. And I'm blending that in with my beauty blender as well, because with drugstore foundations you really have to blend just a little bit more. So yeah, I'm taking my beauty blender and I'm blending that in further. Oh my god, I have so many freckles right now because I've been walking every day, and I've been collecting freckles along the way because of the damn sun. But yeah, I just have a lot more to cover up. But I've also kind of been in the mood for like less coverage lately. That sounds so stupid as I'm putting on a second layer of foundation, but I promise I'm only putting on this foundation to match the rest of my skin, because I have a tan on the rest of my skin. I don't tan my face, so I'm really just doing this, I promise, to even out my skin tone, I swear. Now I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape, and I am just putting that underneath my eyes, my chin, underneath my nose, my forehead, and I'm just kind of blending that in. I get redness underneath my nose, so I like to put a little under there. But yeah, I don't want to put any on my nose, like I said, because I don't want to cover up my freckles too much. I think they're kind of cute. That sounds so stupid and so obnoxious, but I just haven't been wanting to cover that lately. To each his own. If you hear snoring in the background, I apologize. My dog Jack is sleeping right next to me and he's snoring up a storm, so I apologize. Now we're gonna go in and sculpt out the nose. This is another step you don't have to take, but this is the only contouring I've been doing on my nose lately, so I like to do this but not do the powder contour on my nose, so there you have it. And then I'm doing some underneath my lip. If you want to make your lips look a little more full, you add just a little bit underneath your lip to make it look a little more pouty. And then a little on the forehead, on the sides, if you want to shrink your forehead down, say you have a really big forehead. and you want to make it look smaller, that sounds so rude, I'm sorry, but if you want to make it look smaller, put it all the way to the top of the forehead and then blend downwards, not upwards, blend downwards, and it'll shrink the forehead just a little more. Do blend it up into the hairline, of course, but don't blend up completely, otherwise you're not doing anything. Blend a little bit downwards. And of course, taking my crown brush and blending out that contour. So just blending it all into my skin. And like I said, I like to bring it down to hollow out my cheeks. That's another thing you don't have to do. This is for my face shape. So if you have like a little bit fuller cheeks, this is an extra step that you can take to make them look a little thinner. And then of course blending it all in together with my beauty blender. So as you can see, I broke out a little. I was on my dot at the time, so yeah, it happens. And all I'm doing is adding a concealer on top of it where, you know, I broke out. And I'm taking that smudger brush, that R32 brush, and I'm feathering that out to blend in with my foundation. Now I'm going in with my Bare Minerals Invisible Light Setting Powder, and it's something I got in my BoxyCharm and I'd never used it before, and I am in love with it. It has a glow side and a matte side, and obviously I like to use the glow side because I just like that look for summertime. Maybe in the winter and fall I'll use the matte side. But I am using the matte underneath my eyes. Basically, you see me blending it out right there and underneath my nose because those are the parts I don't really want to be glowy. Now I'm going back in with my Morphe 35W palette, and I'm going in with that transition shade right underneath my lower lash line so that, you know, I'm not completely bare underneath that. Now I'm going in with the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, and I'm just putting that on my lower lashes to make everything look put together. And later in, I'm going to go in with some eyeliner on my lower lash line, and I'm only meeting it up halfway, but I don't show that on camera. I think like I maybe forgot to turn the camera on at that point. I honestly don't remember. So what I'm doing now is I'm going in with my Morphe 9C, which is a contour palette, and I barely went in with it. And then what you see is me immediately going into my bronzer, which is what I'm rubbing all over my face basically. It's the NYX Matte Bronzer in shade medium, and since I barely added any contour, I'm going to be adding that bronzer kind of all over my face. So now I'm going in with my Morphe 9B palette, which is a blush palette, and I took a beautiful terracotta color. I love this color for summer. So now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills and Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit, and I'm taking Forever Young and Forever Lit, mixing them and putting that straight onto the highest points of my cheekbones. I love this glow kit. It's beautiful and summery, so if you don't have it, I highly suggest you go get it. You would love this. Okay, now I already took my my Dolly lipstick off, but it kind of stained my lips. So what I'm doing is I'm going over it with a cooler toned lipstick. I'm using the NYX Lip Lingerie in shade Corset, and it's super, super cool toned. So if you feel like your lipstick is maybe a little too pink, it's best to go in with a cool tone lipstick. On top of Corset, I went in with the NYX Matte Lipstick in shade Spirit, and on top of that, I went in with the Alexa Persico Cosmetics lip gloss in shade Golden, and this is the most beautiful lip gloss. I love this lip gloss. And I just kind of take my finger and I dab it in to make it look a little bit more blended. And that concludes this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Burn my ass. Just burn my butt. Shut up! Shush! Oh. Fucking burn myself again. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.